thought of the rally last night if you want to get your opinions in on that. It's 8:07, and we're thankful to have in studio this morning Diana Wilberscheid, and Diana is a senior product marketing manager at Wex Health. And one of the things that I enjoy about this job is I learn so many things from all of you who call in with your comments and your perspectives, your information, these wonderful guests that come onto our program. I love learning. I know you do too. And when it comes to taking care of our families, the things that mean the most to us, our resources, our finances, our money are so important. So when there is a product that comes out that can help you make the most of your money, we like to talk about it. Probably the most single, powerful investment tool I think that is out there today, I used to work in this industry, so I know just a little bit about it, is a health savings account. And I saw there was a National Health Savings Account Day coming up next week, and I said, we've got to find more out about this. And so thankful to have Diana in studio today to help tell us about National Health Savings Account Day and what health savings accounts are. Diana, thanks so much for coming in. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having us.
So first of all, let's start with a health savings account. Tell us what we need to know. What is this thing? Because I think a lot of people have heard a little bit about it, but it's kind of one of those spooky things that we don't know all the details on. What do we need to know? What is a health savings account?
Great question. And it's definitely what we found out too. Every year we do an annual survey of our consumers who use our software, and it's called what we found out was majority of our own consumers who have health savings accounts even don't know what they are.
Oh, really? Okay.
So a lot of misconceptions are there, a lot of confusion. And the biggest thing is I think people think they're just like their FSA, which is their spending account. And the big difference there is it's a HSA, which is a health savings account. Mm-hmm. So the big thing is people think that if they have an HSA, they have to use it up that year or they lose the dollars, which is not true with an HSA. I mean, the nice thing about an HSA is, again, you put your money in out of your paycheck, pre-tax, so you save taxes there. You can save it and use it for all your healthcare account spending. And it's a little bit more flexible, too, because you can use it for dental and vision. And then if you take money out for medical expenses, you don't pay any taxes on those. And it rolls over year to year, and it's always yours. That's the other thing. It's really your money. So if you leave the company you're working at right now, you take it with you. So that's different, too.
So you put the money in tax-free. Yep. And what you don't spend, what you don't take out, that can sit there and grow in investments, whether it's money markets, you can bonds, stocks, whatever, you can choose your investments. So it grows tax-free, and then you can take it out tax-free for health expenses.
Absolutely.
So you get kind of a triple whammy on that.
And
deal.
that's like a big thing, too. Everybody talks about the triple tax savings account. And that's where it's even a little bit better and more flexible than even a 401k. Mm-hmm. It has some advantages there as well.
Diana, can I take out a health savings account Can anybody do it, or what is there? How do you have to qualify for it?
Good questions, and there's certainly some parameters around there. You have to be part of a high deductible health plan, and so if your employer offers that, certainly look at it. People get kind of scared by that too. It's like, oh, it's a high deductible. What does that mean? But what you really want to look at is what is the whole big picture? What's your individual kind of planning strategy? Are you going to be spending all that money right now? Are you looking to save and invest, like you said too? And many employers also do add contributions to your HSA account. So you really want to dig in with your own HR team and find out what are the specifics for you.
Okay, so if I have, how do I know if my health plan is a high? Because I think all deductibles are too high, right? So it seems like they should all be. How do we know?
Right, every year, truly, like the federal government actually sets the limits for what is considered to be the high deductible plan, and so you have to really look at those limits. And I can give you numbers too, but it's like really the best thing is to dig in and talk. And you can also, you do have the options if you have your own a high deductible plan, but your company doesn't offer an HSA, you can still go out on your own and get an HSA from like a bank or from other financial institutions as well.
Okay, so even if your company doesn't want to run the administration for it, if they at least offer that kind of a health plan.
Right.
I can tell you from doing this, so I am involved with our company. As president of our company, I take a look at the plans we have, and we do offer a qualifying high deductible plan. And high deductible isn't as high as you might think.
Exactly.
You've heard those stories we all have about, well, my deductible now is $10,000 or $8,000. That's not high deductible plans. Oftentimes are in that $2,500, $3,500 range. You just have to ask that specific question about your plan. So a lot of us now in the next 2-3 months are going to be making our decisions about our plans for next year. Our employer's going to come to us with the different offerings. Ask that question: is this a qualifying high deductible health plan? Because if it is, then you're fair game to take one out.
Absolutely. And I think you hit on a lot of good points there too. It's like people get scared by that term, but again, it's looking at your full plan, and if it's an individual or as a family plan, if you're generally very healthy. I mean, I think another thing we found out too is we really encourage, like, you're really young, you're just out of college, it's your first job. If your employer is offering an HSA, that's probably really a perfect time to get involved in that and start investing.
Yeah.
And again, like you mentioned too, HSAs also have lots of different potential investment opportunities. So you can do a lot of different pieces with that from a long-term strategy.
A lot of us grew up with flexible spending accounts, and many of employers offer those and have for quite some time. One of the things that I learned when I was selling health savings accounts at my previous employer was how flexible an HSA account is. Flexible spending accounts, they've been able to loosen up the rules a little bit in recent years where you don't always lose all of your money. But the nice thing about a health savings account is it's there, and even though the plan year ends and you get to the end of December and your deductibles all reset, you still keep everything you had in your health savings account. You don't have to worry about spending it all by the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think that's huge. I think people start to panic sometimes at this time of year, again, when it gets to open enrollment, if they have money still sitting in their account, like, how am I going to spend it? And with your HSA, you don't have to do that. You can keep rolling it over. And it also helps you make a little bit better long-term strategies. Maybe next year you're going to get LASIK surgery, and that's going to be $3,000, $4,000. Well, you just kind of plan that you're going to keep putting money in there, so next year you have all those funds available. And again, it's tax-free before and tax-free when you take it out. So it really does save you quite a bit of money.
Yeah, there was a time a couple of years ago when our family just, thank the good Lord, didn't have any injuries or illnesses, and we just left the money in there. And I'd actually kind of forgotten about the fact that I have some investments set up there, and I wasn't real risky, but I had a S&P 500 index fund that I had the money sitting in there. And I went to look at it, and my $6,700 contribution was all of a sudden worth like $8,800. And I said, wow, that's like an extra $2,100 free money for me that I, can use now for healthcare expenses. So it was great. And so that money carried over. And so you get those kind of nice little surprises because you can invest it. But the thing is, if you're kind of nervous about the stock market, you think it's been a little overcooked lately, you can just put it in a cash account or a money market account where you can't lose anything. It's not going to grow too much.
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of options for investing within a health savings account.
For sure there is. And I think that's really an important thing for people to understand, because that was, again, even in our research, people did not realize that. And that's even kind of coming back to why we really put together this National Health Savings Account Awareness Day, which is next Tuesday, October 15th. We just found that consumers are very confused. They don't really know who to go to get the right questions answered. And what we found out, even that, who do they really ask? They talk to their peers, their neighbors, somebody else who's figured out an HSA. That tends to be who they get the best and most reliable kind of support from.
Yeah.
So we've partnered actually with financial, sort of expert. Jean Chatsky is her name. She does her money podcast, and she's really become our health savings account educational ambassador.
The guru, okay.
The guru.
Yeah.
And so we're meeting with her, and she's actually going to be talking with real consumers. We have the opportunity when we work with our platform, like people are logging in using the software every day to check their health savings accounts and their other health care accounts. And we found real consumers, and they were really excited to tell us what they've learned about the HSAs, how they got themselves educated, and maybe even for themselves some of the things that they didn't understand when they were first offered an HSA. So it's going to be a great dialogue. It's a 30-minute long dialogue. It's next Tuesday, October 15th at 3 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay.
And what you can do is just go to hsaday.com.
HSAday.com.
Yep,
Okay.
and you can register there for the live broadcast. There's a lot of other just HSA kind of educational tools out there, because that's really our big initiative, is to help consumers learn more and understand it. So you'll find, some videos, some fact sheets, some just commonly asked questions, and they're answered. So there's a lot of good resources for you if you're really trying to understand more about an HSA.
Tell me a little bit about, we said earlier that you're with Wex Health. Who is Wex? Do you sell these accounts? Are you the bank? Tell me about Wex and what you do.
Yeah, great question, and sometimes very confusing. So actually, Wex Corporate is based out of Portland, Maine, very large global company. And what Wex Corporate does is actually manages payments. And we focus on a lot of different payment industries. Wex itself works within the travel, the fleet, and then the health division. So in Fargo, our big offices right here are for the Wex Health division. And what we do is we're actually truly a software developer, and we write the software that really helps financial institutions, health plans, third-party administrators manage and develop healthcare accounts. So if you're here in Fargo and you've got your health care through Discovery Benefits or through maybe even a Blue Cross account or something, you're probably using Wex Health software.
Yep.
It's kind of like that Intel chip inside. Nobody knows who we are
Yes,
because
that's right.
it's branded with whoever your provider is, but that's the software. And so what we really do is, again, help you manage the payments part of it. So we sell through a partner distribution channel.
Very good. Is there a good web? Does the HSAday.com, does that have just good general information about what HSAs are too, if people want to dig in a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we've been spending a lot of time with Jean Chatzky is our financial ambassador again too, where she's done a number of interviews, her own podcasts, different guest stars that she's been on. And so a lot of the links to the information that she's done as well are out there. So hsaday.com is a great resource to go to. And again,
Okay.
it's an easy way to get registered for next Tuesday as well.
Diana, it's been really a good visit. Thanks for sharing a little bit of insight on this for us, and best of luck with HSA Day next Tuesday.
Perfect. Thank you so much again.
Diana Wilberscheid, Senior Product Marketing Manager at Wex Health, talking about National HSA Day. Look into it, friends, because